What's going on, guys? Multiverse Corrupt here with yet another action figure review video, and today we're having a look at the Last Ronin Unarmored from NECA Toys. As always, guys, starting off this video, we are taking a look at the NECA Toys packaging, and right here we have this concept drawing of Michelangelo on his knees, the Last Ronin written on top with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Going over here to the side, guys, we have this awesome image of Mikey just standing here, and then flipping over here to the back is some nice product images of the figure itself. Right here on the screen now, guys, is an up-close picture of the read-up, if you want to pause the screen and read it right now. Flipping over here to the side, guys, we have this other interesting image of Mikey looking over his shoulder with the Last Ronin right here, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, Nickelodeon up top here, and Unarmored down here. Going over here to the top of the packaging, it just says the Last Ronin, and then down here at the bottom is the barcode for you barcode guys. And then back here on the front, guys, it does come with this little open flap that we have here. There's a little open face window to where we can see the Last Ronin inside the packaging with all the accessories he comes with. And then over here is this nice image of the figure itself in a combat pose, ready to take on the streets of New York. Who is the Last Ronin? In a future battle-ravaged New York City, a lone surviving turtle embarks on a seamlessly hopeless mission seeking justice for the family he lost. From legendary TMNT co-creators Kevin Eastman and Peter Leonard comes the final story of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3 decades in the making. What terrible events destroyed his family and left New York a crumbling nightmare? All will be revealed in this climactic Turtles tale that sees longtime friends become enemies and new allies emerging in the most unexpected places. Can the surviving turtle triumph? So right here, guys, is the Last Ronin out of the packaging, standing straight up and down on the rotating turntable, and I think he looks absolutely fantastic. Me personally, I have not read this story. I really want to, but I just haven't had the time to sit down and actually go through it and really see the full story. But I do have the story spoiled for myself. I did kind of do like a quick little scam on the internet just to kind of see what I was going to get myself into, especially so I didn't look like a complete idiot when reviewing this figure. I am aware that this is the Unarmored edition. This one is the newest one that came out, so I'm looking forward to getting a hold of the Armored edition. I am really digging that hooded look. Here it is on the screen right now, comparing the two side by side, and I just cannot wait to have the Armored edition as well. My first impressions on this one, though, guys, is I think he does look phenomenal. He is sculpted. He is painted beautifully. It is very hard for NECA to mess up in my eyes because they take so much time with each and every figure. I really do even love the detailed designs, like how he is a drawing because he is based off of a book. With all that said, though, guys, let's go ahead and get the Last Ronin off of the table and see the accessories that he comes with. In terms of accessories, guys, this guy comes chock full of them. He is armed to the teeth with interchangeable heads and plenty of interchangeable hands. Starting off with the hands, guys, he does come with these two-fisted hands here, beautifully detailed with the leather marks and scratch marks on the back of the hands. He comes with these two flat open palm hands and got every single crease of the knuckles and then the leather mats on the back as well. Again, going over here, he does come with these two gripping hands, which are also beautifully detailed as well. You can fit the nunchucks, the sai, and the broken samurai sword in there as well. And then over here, he comes with one open pointing finger thing, which I've only found out to be kind of the tonfa holding hand. You just slide the tonfa handle in there, and it holds just fine with that little bit of friction. Going over here to the interchangeable heads, guys, he does come with two. The first one is just this smoldering looking head here, and he's just got a blank expression on his face, and his little tie back here does rotate if you want it to kind of blow in the wind. But if this one is not your style, then you can take a look at this pissed off, angry looking face for Mikey, the Last Ronin. It looks absolutely phenomenal. And this one also blows in the wind if you want to rotate it around to go whichever which way you want it to. Maybe get it to go into some swaying combat actions, like When he's jumping down, it's going up. When he's coming down for a kick to the side, it's going off to the side. I do love this feature back here to have this be able to rotate all the way around. Going over here to this little robotic dog here. Like I said, I have not read the story. I just kind of got the meat and potatoes from it. Just kind of get used to this review. But I have no idea what this dog is or who this dog is. I don't recognize him from any of the cartoons growing up, nor any of the classic movies, or even the newer movies that came out. I don't recognize this guy at all. So whether he's friend or foe, let me know down in the comments below. Going down over here, guys, to the weaponry, I think that this is absolutely fantastic. He, of course, comes with the classic Mikey nunchucks, but they are beautifully detailed. Both sides has grip for the hands. They are very ever so slightly detailed, but it is just enough. Going over here next, guys, is Leo's sword that is broken, but he is still using to his advantage or just for memorabilia. Whatever the case may be, I'm sure he misses his brother dearly. Going over here, though, guys, we do have Raph's Sai, and I think that this is another beautiful detail because it has the wraps that are detailed within the handle. And then, of course, this nice little, I wouldn't say flexible plastic. I would be careful trying to bend it because it may snap off. Because I am not going to strain it. I'm not going to risk it. It does feel like a tougher plastic here. And I'm just very nervous by even doing that. So it will possibly break. So I would be very careful when it comes to the Sai. But nonetheless, it is still a beautiful side piece here. Going over here to the Tonfa, I feel like this is the clunkiest one of all. Tonfa here is detailed. It looks nice. It's not really my favorite when it comes to it, so I probably won't even have him holding this. I'll probably just store it in the pouch in the back for the nunchucks because I do feel that Mikey needs his nunchucks. That's just how I see Mikey, whether he's the last Ronin or not. Going over here, he does have his father's book. It is beautifully detailed. It has some writing down here at the bottom. But I do think it is absolutely fantastic. The paint is very nice on it. Trying to get it closer to the camera here for you. There is pretty much no mistakes within this. And I do love how it has the weather damage looks into it. I do think that that is absolutely amazing that they took the time to actually do that. Instead of just giving us some blank square with a white paint going on the side to be like, hey, here's a book. No, they actually gave it some detail, some texture. You can feel all of these grooves right here, and it is absolutely phenomenal. Now, for the part that I'm confused at, other than just assuming that these may be his throwing knives, I don't know where these go on the figure or if they plug into him at all. I'm not really seeing an open pouch here anywhere. Let's see if I can get them close enough. There we go. I'm not really seeing an open pouch here or anything other than, of course, where the sword and the Sai and nunchucks plug into. But anywhere else, I'm not seeing it all. Nothing down here at the feet, nothing. It's just, you do have the throwing knives. There is actually one hand I found. Not that one. It does have a slight plug in here. See if I can get it to focus for you. There it is. It does have a slight plug in here, but it is just for one. It doesn't hold any more. I guess if you wanted him to have an about to throw or just to have a knife holding in his hand, that is what you can do with it. But other than that, there is really nothing else for you to plug this into. But I would be careful because these are also that tough plastic again, so I would not want to break these. And also, do not drop them. I dropped them right out of the package and screamed like a little girl because I could not find it for a good 30 seconds, 45 seconds. Was on a panic train there for a little bit. With all that said though, guys, let's go ahead and move away from the accessories and get right in to that detail. When it comes to the detail, guys, I do think that this guy is detailed from head to toe. There is literally cracks and crevices all throughout this guy. Starting off with the head sculpt, I do think that this head sculpt is absolutely fantastic. Going alongside the other one, I do think it is phenomenal as well. There is very little differences other than, of course, the teeth showing in this one and the slightly more angrier face. But other than that, it is still detailed in every which way. I think that they are absolutely mirror images of each other, and they are fantastic. Going down here to his torso, guys, I do love how the front of his shell have these little sketch marks from where it looks like he just fell right out of the book. Going back here to his shell is beautifully done as well. And I'm glad to see that they actually tucked in his shell here to where it kind of went over instead of just having it loop down here or just trying to start his pants all the way down here. I just feel like that would look a little weird. But nonetheless, they tucked in his shell and it does look absolutely fantastic. And I love the markings on the back of the shell where it kind of can be sword strikes and jabs for where he's been attacked. I just absolutely love it. Going over here to the arms now, guys. The arms are detailed all the way with some scars going on him. That way, you know, he has seen some battle. He's done his fair share of cuts and nicks and bruises, and he looks absolutely fantastic. And I love the scuff marks on his little gauntlets here as well, especially this little X slash over here. Really shows that he has been putting in work in the streets of New York, really just laying waste to all of the Foot Clan soldiers and whoever else crosses his path. Going down here, guys, to his legs and feet, I do love that his legs pants are actually detailed. They have these little riblets all throughout them, if you will, and they are a realistic feel. Down here, I also like the mismatched knee pads showing that he lost one and replaced it. And then down here at his feet, they knocked it out of the park with these sandals. Instead of just giving him some green sandals with his green feet, they actually put in the time to paint it. NECA Toys does a fantastic job. I've always thought this and will continue to think that. With all that said though, guys, that is it for the details. So let's go ahead and get into the size, articulation, and scale with other figures. Now for how tall this figure stands, guys, this NECA Toys does stand at about the 6 1/4 mark that I'm seeing here. The box does say 7 inches, but he's actually about 6 1/4, but he does scale nicely with the 7-inch scale. It makes sense. In terms of articulation, go and bring him closer to the camera here. As far as his head articulation goes, he looks up about that far. He looks down about that far. And there is a little bit of head tilt, very ever so slight. Well, I got some more on that side compared to on this side. But he is on a ball joint, so where it is easy to replace his head and rotate his head all the way around. When it comes to his arm articulation, his arms do go out about that far, but he is a stiff boy. Going down, his arms do rotate all the way around, and he does have double jointed elbows along with the double hinge. So you can get him up about that far because the gauntlets get in the way. When it comes to his wrist articulation, his wrists do hinge up and they do hinge down and they do rotate all the way around. When it comes to his ab articulation, he can crunch forward about that far, and he can crunch back about that far, and he does have some good ab articulation from going side to side and rotating all the way around. Going down here to the legs now, guys, his legs do kick out about that far, and they do kick back about that far, and he can get some good side kick in for if you're trying to kick one of the Foot Clan soldiers. Going to his knees, he does have double hinge knees, but due to his little knee pad here, it does get in the way just ever so slightly to where it is a pain to get that double hinge to go all the way back. When it comes to his ankle articulation, his ankles do go down, they push up. He has no toe articulation, but he does have the beautiful ankle pivot. When it comes to the size comparison, guys, here we have the Last Ronin standing next to the Gotham Knights Red Hood from McFarlane Toys. The 7-inch compared to the 6 1/4, but like I said, it does scale just fine to me. I think that this works. This is fantastic. They don't have to be those giant monsters that we saw in the reboot of TMNT. Right here, guys, we do have the Last Ronin scaled next to the Alpha Predator, both from NECA Toys, and these two actually worked for me in size as well. And last but not least, we do have the Last Ronin standing next to Marvel Legends Mr. Fantastic from the Fantastic Four, and this could go either way. For me, I'll say it works. What do you guys think? Alrighty, guys, and there you have it. Another action figure review video in the books on my channel for you guys to enjoy. As for my review on the Last Ronin, I am going to give him a solid 10 out of 10. I absolutely love this figure. I think it is absolutely phenomenal. There is very little mistakes, if not any. I personally didn't see any on mine. Let me know if you guys got as lucky as I did when it comes to this figure, guys. With all that said, though, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit the like button. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. Leave me a comment down in the comment section below. I really do love interacting with you guys down there. And I will see you in the next video. Cowabunga, dude.